me see, I messed that up already. In today's video, we're going to talk to Adam Melcher and Olivier Buisard about the fork of J2Store. And I'm super excited about that, so we'll get to them in just a second. But hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 271 here in the Basic Joomla channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. Also work in Joomla sites. Build them, maintain them, migrate them. If you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term, or even just get you out of spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and I'm going to just show you my address. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work because of the setting today. Never mind. Oh, yeah, I guess you can see that. I'm a little bit confused when I'm doing Zoom. There's my email address. I'll explain that picture next week. Today's video is brought to you by our channel sponsor, mysites.guru. Do you have a Joomla site? Of course you do. Head on over to mysites.guru, get a free site audit for it, and check out all the tools and information. That will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. Okay, so let's see. Is this the one I want here? No. There's the one I want. My guests are up there. They're on my mind. And we'll jump to the full screen. If you would like to just give the video a like, I forget to mention that, and that would be great. It'll get delivered to other people, and maybe recommend it to them. And now I'm going to go to, I think, gallery. There we go. Oh, that's, can it move people while pinned? Oh, am I pinned? Sorry, this is just, oh, there we go. There we go. We get to everybody there. So we have 15 people watching right now. There's a lot of excitement about this news, and I'd like to introduce.
Are you going to bring them in? Looks like there's only 3 in.
No, it's only 3 that talk. I can't get people to talk on Zoom during this, so they're in chat.
Got it. Okay.
They're in chat. Yeah, I actually did try to open it up for Zoom, but no one wants to talk to me. They just like me sitting here talking to myself in a room here. So up on the top left of your screen is Adam Melcher and Olivier Buisard. And let me just when I'm streaming Zoom, it's a little bit different here. So let's. Oh, I know what I need to do. Here, yeah. So this is Adam's site, New Line Web Design, and Adam, you do mostly e-commerce stuff. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's what I prefer, and so yeah, a lot of my clients are small, medium size, a few larger companies that we've been able to run on Joomla for a long time.
Yeah. And Olivier, your site is Simplify Your Web, and you've got a whole bunch of extensions there. And I wasn't surprised that Adam was part of the fork, but then when I read on Facebook that you were part of it, I thought, oh, that's cool. That's going to be good, because you're a great programmer as well. So
thank you, and you. I was on your show before, so it's
yes.
exciting to come back.
Yeah, and Chayden and I interviewed Adam when we had the podcast years ago. All right, right here, and then on the screen, I'll share it in local. J2Commerce. This is the website for the fork of J2Store, so you can check those out. Let me just paste these other links right in there for everybody to have them too, so you can go to them. And then I will get back to these gentlemen's handsome faces. Take that down, and you're back. And okay, well. Hi guys, thanks for coming. First time I've had 2 guests on the live stream, I think. So that is great. And I know this is a super, well, I've got Joomla 3 sites that I still have not migrated because they have J2 stores, and I just have been kind of frozen. In fact, I had one client that wanted to migrate, and I have not been able to get it to my J2Store to migrate from 3 to 4, and so Adam, you were going to teach me how to do that, and then that client went with someone else. But now maybe you won't have to teach me. So, how did we get here? Adam, you go first. How did we get? Why do you think it is that J2Store, Ramesh, who's a great guy, and I mean, just in another realm for e-commerce as well, and some things when he was on the podcast. Uh, why have they discontinued J2Store or working on it?
I mean, I can't speak on his behalf. I've known him for years, and there was a period of time where I was excited to show him all the different extensions that we've created for clients, and really cool things that we've done. So every 6 months, we would jump on a Zoom, and I would show him stuff that he was like, I couldn't even he wasn't even thinking about those type of items. But as far as how we got here, I think, for him personally or whatnot, I think he just had, too many things pulling him in too many directions. He didn't have enough bandwidth, didn't have enough manpower to juggle everything successfully. So he did what a lot of developers may not have done, which is he actually let it go free, which a lot of developers, they're married to their project. They will let it die and ride it into the ground. So I commend him for being able to do that, because there's a lot of us, myself included, that rely and have used, it's such a great extension across the board and so powerful and really ahead of its time, even 5, 10 years ago when it first came out. So when this happened, I was actually on a training call with another client going over their J2 store, and I started, my Facebook started getting hit up and everything about the news, and I was sad and happy at the same time. It was kind of bittersweet, and where for me personally, I was sad because the announcement when he did make it was something that I think a lot of us have felt deep down inside that we didn't want to admit, just because of the so few updates over the last 2 years, and a lot of the plugins, apps weren't updated, and so it left a lot of us, really kind of hoping that that they would do that, but not sure. And so that uncertainty, I think, was in the back of everybody's head. But when the announcement was made, it really introduced a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt into the Joomla community with that. So that part I was sad about, because there's some that wouldn't, they didn't want to wait to see what would happen, and so they were already starting to look for other solutions, and in some cases that meant going somewhere else other than Joomla. And so that's not good for the community as a whole. But then I was also hopeful about that, because you know because of how great it was, I would never want to ever create something to compete with that. But once he took a step back and gave it to the community, it gave us an opportunity to take it and really take it to the next level. I'm not a app developer. I'm an app user. I'm a power user of J2Store. Anybody that knows me knows that I can talk about it for a long time. And so when it happened, I remember I had a call with Joe Sonny about a project I was working on with him, and I brought it up and I said, I'm actually thinking about possibly taking it as a fork, but I need somebody solid. And I was thinking about Olivier, because him and I just finished, along with Joe, working on the new J-Day USA website, and everybody had told me how humble that Olivier was, and just easy to work with. And I found that everything that everybody said about him was 1,000% true. So I was thinking there'd be nobody better for me to have than somebody that is active on the Joomla project, that understands Joomla 5, Joomla 6, the latest code, that could help take this and really carry it through to be something that everybody that uses it has believed in before and really hopes it can be. So it's an exciting time. So I called him, Olivier, after that call, and I said, I don't want you to make a decision right now. I laid out my case for it, and I said, I just want you to think about it because it's a big decision. He said, I don't need to think about it. I was already thinking about it before you called, so this is perfect. And that's how we came to be. And today we just released our first update to J2Store 4.0.6. And you can go to either our GitHub or j2commerce.com and download it. And I will turn this over to Olivier now so he can share his side of the story.
Okay, now before he does that, I just want you to know the fact that you thought of Olivier first. I'm not going to take that personally. Okay, so
oh, thank God. All right, I was worried, but I figured I'd throw it out there just in case.
Yeah, and before we talk to Olivier, I just want we talked just very briefly about this before we went live. Joomla is 19 years old, and that is a long enough span that people are going to experience different seasons, different focuses in their life. And Ramesh is killing it in some other areas of his business. And so as much as I think sometimes from some corners of the community, we've gotten so used to, oh, there goes another company closing or someone else isn't doing this project. And so what's the future of Joomla? It's just terrible. But, you know, a lot of people have come and gone over 19 years for good reasons, for bad reasons or sad reasons. And you know, as Joomla is what it is, and I think as we mature into our years and our age, people are going to make decisions that aren't based on this that Joomla, there's no future for it, but are looking and have a business say, hey, I can feed my family doing this. I can only manage so many projects. And like you said, it was good that he just gave it up. So that is, I think that's something that our community will benefit if we start to just sort of disciple our thinking, train our thinking into saying like, hey, this is a project. Okay, we're sad that person's leaving, but you know, we're still here all together. We're doing this, and because who knows how or if we'll be remembered when Joomla is 38, right? And so I think that for our own enjoyment of Joomla, we should really strive for that. Okay, Olivier, so you heard the news before Adam called you. And you thought right away you were going to do it.
No, I just thought that was sad that a big project like this one that a lot of people were using was going to go to trash. And working with Adam in the Joomla, the USA website, Adam showed me a lot of the functionality that existed in J2Store, and also all the stuff it had been built on it, with all these extensions and all these additions to the core of that extension. So I was like, well, that's ridiculous. I know all these people who use J2Store. It's a shame that it goes away like that. So that was my first reaction. And then one day later, Adam's called me, and I'm like, Adam is the go-to guy for J2Store. Everybody goes to him to ask for advice on J2Store, and even ask for work done on J2Store. Or his clients are very big clients using J2Store. And so I was like, he was a no-brainer. He was the guy that I could do something with, because he was so knowledgeable on this. So that's why when he asked me, I was like, yeah, I mean, there's no question. I would not do it with anybody else. Okay. But I don't know the previous owner of the extension. I actually, to be honest, I never used J2Store before in my own websites, because I never had the need to create an e-commerce website. But I know a lot of people who do.
Yeah, good. Just to give J2Store cred too for its possibilities and what you've done with it, Adam. I mean, generally in a month, all of your clients that are using J2Store, what are they pulling in financially?
Yeah, I think when I checked it last time, back at the beginning of summer, when you take in the total revenue that my J2Store clients run each month, it's about $5.5 million. So, there's a lot of volume getting pushed through this. And so that was part of the decision when I first found out about this last week. Was I surprised that the message was, there honestly, no. I wasn't surprised, but I was sad. Uh, but I looked and I thought with all of the, my projects that are active that I'm helping, the thought of having to switch to something else would have been, so much manpower, so much time and money, for the client, for me, that it just, why go somewhere else when we have something that is there that's amazing that just needs somebody to step in and start watering it again and get the nutrients in the soil so it can keep growing. And so it's a big project that's going to take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears from Olivier and myself and those that are also contributing. Brian Tiemann has been amazing, contributing a lot to on GitHub, and anybody else that wants to contribute themselves can also do that as well, and just fork it and push your updates there. But I'm excited because there's a lot, probably about 30 to 40 extensions that I've worked on in the past with clients and with other developers to really create some really cool things that we can start to introduce, not just functionality wise, but things to help improve your conversions on your site, help better tracking, upsells, a lot of different things that you know even just the look of it, just to make it more current and modern and updated without having to do a lot of custom CSS work for a client, would really add a lot of value to this project and help a lot of people sell more. Because the difference between e-commerce and a lot of extensions is that, and I know Olivier's found firsthand that in the past, when there was a shortcoming of Joomla, developers would create extensions to solve that problem. But as Joomla's gotten better, it's also gotten better in taking care of some of these problems. So some of these extensions that developers were making money on, they didn't solve that problem anymore because it wasn't a problem because Joomla got better. So to me, like, I think it's super commendable that Olivier uh, works on the project, that ultimately some of those things that as they get better in core actually force him to have to think of other things in order to generate revenue from. But e-commerce is one of those things that is never going to be part of core, but it can definitely be something that can attract new users when they see that it's easier, when they see that, the functionality, and that out of the box, it could really help somebody with no CSS skills, no programming skills, to still start a store that has a fighting chance of selling their product or service or whatever it is that they're trying to sell.
Now, you said it was going to take a lot of work. When JoomDev stopped developing Asteroid and their JD page builder and the Asteroid framework, which was templates, and then they put it out, just anybody could have it. I thought about picking that up, and of course that was Chayton's product, and so I talked to him. And but when I started looking at everything that I really would need to have in place to offer support and downloads and all that, I thought, no, I can't. And I guess at that time it was like 57. I thought it's too late in life for me to make another big mistake. So I just decided, no, this is not something. So Olivier, it's apparently not too late in life for you to make a big mistake. So talk about
No.
talk about talk about every what is involved in forking a project and getting to the place where this all works and people aren't screaming at you.
Well, it could be scary, but I think I got the experience I needed when I started being release managers for Joomla. That's really when there was a big moment for me. Is when I really understood how Joomla is built, how to work with other people, and that really helped me a lot making that decision. Um, I'm much more confident with my code now that I used to be 10 years ago. And definitely, I see what needs to be done in J2Store. There's a lot. Database-wise, we're pretty safe, but we do have a lot of architecture changes to make uh, that are really required when we jump to Joomla 6. So we're going to tackle that very early on, and make sure that the code is up to standards with Joomla, and not use any extra library like it's doing now. Like right now we use FOF. If some people are familiar with it, FOF is still in J2Store, so we want to get rid of it. We want to be using Joomla API core, and nothing else. JavaScript is going to be moved from jQuery to pure JavaScript, and we will. There's all these little things that technically are needed for a great move to the next generation of Joomla.
All right, and now, so you're going to end up having to need a support department, right? Are you going to do that, or?
No,
Well,
you are. We're sending them all to you, Tim.
We do actually. It doesn't feel as bad when you are already two people working on a project, because when you're on by yourself, it can be a lot of work. But and we may get help from some other people. I mean, a lot of people are very friendly with our project and want to help. So maybe we'll end up bringing on some new people to the team for other tasks, like the documentation needs to be updated, supports need to be followed, and everything. I know that the owner of J2Store is promising to give support to the license that are still working, still paid for through him. So we may get some support from there, but then we take over the support from now on anyway.
Good. All right. Just want to say hi to everybody in chat, because we've had a bunch of people in here. But hello, Bjorn and Ivor. Bjorn says great news. Vinny is there. Vinny says he'll talk to me on Zoom. That's good. Valerie, Mary is very excited for the news future of Joomla and e-commerce. Hello, Anne's made it to her first live stream. That is great. Welcome, Anne. Eds is here. Johan. There's Olivier. Tu Lu from Vietnam. Good to have you here. Emmanuel said Adam and Olivier are great to work with as well. And Olivia said thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, get a room, you guys. Edsa says he's not happy with J2Store, so he's very interested in J2Commerce. You guys have already been talking about, the things you're going to be doing with it. And then here's a question, and Stefan is there. Okay, so here's the question. They're asking about pricing and that, so I'm just going to say, how are you guys going to make money on this? I mean, that's that's a different way that they're not asking that. They're asking, is it going to be open source? What's the pricing going to be? Olivier, you've said people that have existing licenses, that he's going to help with that, and you guys are going to honor those and work with that. So, but that's the first question people are sort of asking here. There's others. I've got some too, but what's the price structure going to be like? What's that all going to look like, or do you even know?
We haven't even discussed any of that yet, so that just shows where our focus is right now, is just getting it essentially off of what some would consider life support and into a healthy environment to the biggest thing for me as a user itself is I don't want to have to go through another migration process into a new J2 store or a new J2 Commerce. It needs to be seamless. So we're having to go through almost every file one at a time to make sure that as we start to unlatch it from FOF, and as we start replacing jQuery with JavaScript, that somebody that has an active store that's already built it up, that just wants to make sure that they have something that is support and really allows them to grow, and then update their current version without any disruption. At some point when we get to the Joomla 6 version, we've discussed possibly looking at maybe changing the database names or whatnot, but as of right now the goal is to make it as seamless and painless as possible for all of us. I think the fact that I am a power user myself will, if I was on the other side listening to this, I would feel a lot better, because we're not looking at it just from the lens of, I'm going to create these extensions and everybody's going to figure out how to make it work. But I am one that's going to suffer greatly if we don't make this seamless. So as far as pricing right now, it's a big whopping 0 until we get it to where it needs to be. And that also includes finishing migrating all the J2Store apps and extensions that haven't been updated yet. So we can definitely talk about that later during this call. But right now, it's for me at least, there's self-serving purpose of getting this to where it needs to be, because it will make my life easier with my existing clients, and thus by default, anybody that runs J2Store for themselves or has clients that run it, it will make it easier for them to deal with it as well. And then the next plan is to start attracting new users that never considered it, or have been on other platforms that now see the benefits that Joomla 5, 6 have to offer, and has really a powerful e-commerce extension that can go with that.
Yeah, I like hearing that, because I think we've all had that experience where you're using extension and it's like, oh, if I could just filter by such and such, and then you contact the developer, say, hey, could you do this? And they're busy, they've got their stuff, and so not everything that you would like gets into it. But since you are using it, and I mean, you already got a bunch of stuff that is crazy stuff that nobody else has. So I'm excited for that to become available. And cool. All right. So you're just gonna fix the thing, move things forward, get things going, and then someday in the future you'll start to add pricing, and then everyone will love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Go ahead, Olivier.
Mostly we were thinking about the extension marketplace, that all these extensions that we created for J2Store could be where the money comes in. So we are still thinking about how we do.
Which would also allow other developers to create J2Store extensions and be able to, instead of having a link like what was in the previous app marketplace, that would then take them to their own site, that can somebody can actually buy it through the J2Commerce marketplace, and then that developer would be able to earn from that. So we still have a lot of work on the money aspect of it. But look, if you build an amazing product and you have something that people really can use and especially can generate revenue from, then the money usually will take care of itself. So we're not looking to go in there and change things drastically price wise, but right now we want to be able to introduce some stability to J2Store users and let them know that not to be worried, and the future is actually going to look very bright.
The other thing too is that, and I realized this years ago when I was working on someone's e-commerce site, just helping them out, and then they changed their mind and all the work I had done went to nothing. If you're trying to make money, if you're trying to sell things on your website, you have to spend some money to sell things, to make money online, and to have an e-commerce site. And sometimes people get so looking at trying to do everything free, they just don't pay attention to the big picture, that they're running a business, and that while they're not spending on their business, or they're not putting in the effort that's required, or just trying to do everything cheap, there are people out there that understand business, that are putting money into it, and they're getting more in return. So if it's a great product and it's what you want to do, then it's certainly it certainly is worth buying. Valerie has asked, depending on whether it's UTheme or Gantry 5 template, is J2Commerce going to be compatible with other things such as those?
That we've already actually discussed that, and we want to make it easy for those that do use those template builders to be able to just plug and play and be able to drag wherever they need to go. And that's definitely something we've already discussed in the last whopping, what, 8 days or 7 days since we started this this new adventure. But yeah, I mean, the whole goal is, the easier, and it goes to e-commerce in general, is, the more we can remove the friction and the easier it is for all of us to be able to make it easy for somebody to say yes and harder for them to say no. That's going to translate across the board, not just selling to your customers, but the way that we view and make sure that we can make it easy for you to use it with the systems that you're using. And there was a point when almost every extension that could be somewhat related to J2Store would have some sort of connector to J2Store, whether it was AC mailing or row, CSVI, OS maps. Like, there was a lot. And over the last couple of years, when Joomla 5 came out, I stopped seeing a lot of those. So for those developers that did have, extensions that tied into J2Store, I have updated a lot of those myself to work with the latest iteration of J2Store, and I'd be more than happy to send them over so you guys can update on your end, so we can keep the ecosystem and keep everything running smoothly. But and I know Olivier can throw some input in there, but I think the next stage is really just, we're going to be focusing on extracting it from FOF, then removing jQuery, and while that's happening, also updating the unmigrated J2Store apps and the documentation and everything else that goes with that. So if anybody wants to help, by all means, reach out to us.
Okay. Yeah, and there's some good discussion happening in the chat here, and I see that Olivier is watching the chat and reading it. Valerie mentioned about one e-commerce product she was using, and they had a template, but they didn't continue on with it because it couldn't be migrated to J4. So one of the things that I just have always loved about J2Store, and why it was and will be now that my go-to e-commerce solution, is that the products were actually just Joomla articles. So if I was selling this headset on my website, have a picture, I create an article, put the description, everything, and then there's a tab where I can handle pricing, inventory, all kinds of things. I didn't have to go somewhere else. It was just in there, and I just have always loved that. And so, with respect to templates and stuff like that, J2Store has always worked inside of whatever Joomla template I was using. And so that's I'm sure you guys are going to continue that on. Someone said, "Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead."
No, I was just, you were mentioning the creation through an article. Just we realized, sorry, that in 5.2 this breaks with J2Store. So that's why we created a version early on, so that we wanted to make sure that we had the bug fix for this kind of issues. So if you're using J2Store in 5.2 and creating new products, you wouldn't run into that issue. So update them.
Good. Now, Rudiger said languages, and now Stefan has said that he will help with translation to Swedish. He translated all he did translation for versions of J2Store. Rudiger said he can help on German. I can help with English. So you guys are covered there. So
I thought you spoke Canadian. I didn't know you spoke English.
I do speak Canadian, eh? Okay. All right. So let me ask you this question. I have Joomla 3 sites with J2Store. I would love to migrate them. Can you guys make it easier so I can just do it without booking time with Adam for him to teach me how to do it? What's your plan for that?
I mean, ultimately the newer versions are really focused on the current Joomla 4, Joomla 5, and eventually Joomla 6. So to get you from Joomla 3 to Joomla 4, maybe the easiest would be is for me to just show you on one of them, and you can do a YouTube training video for your followers to throw it out there on okay. Exactly. I've probably updated about 90 to 100 sites from J3 to J4 and 5. So I could tell you what, I mean,
Okay.
the biggest holdup for most people is that there's like one or two extensions that they need to carry through that may not have been updated. And so they're kind of stuck at a crossroads, like they want to update, but they can't because they have this one extension. So if you have those, send us a note, either on the site, or if you have, mine or Olivier's information, and we're more than happy to get those as far as plugins updated first, so that way you aren't sitting there, hurting, running on a deprecated Joomla 3 site, and you can, get it up to speed to Joomla 5.
Yeah, because the client that I spoke of earlier that went with someone else, he had 1,400 products in his store, and I don't think he had a really complex store. I think it was probably just very much core J2Store, the products, and so yeah, I will take you up on that offer and make videos on that. Just of course, if someone has some other plugin or extension that did something crazy, like gave people a discount if it was a cloudy day north of the equator, then of course they're going to have to contact you guys for that. But even just for a lot of people out there would just be using it to sell, have PayPal for the payment method, and that's all that they were doing. They didn't juice the install up with anything else. That's, I think, what a lot of people really need and would probably help carry a lot of people forward, because now we've got the yellow box saying Joomla 4 is in security support for the next year, and that scares people. And so I think the easier it is for people to just get all those basic things out of 3, it's going to carry a lot of other people before they go to something else. So that'd be good for you, and it'd be great for me, because people say, "Can you update this for me?" And it's like, So the big clients I sent to you, Adam, but I would love to be able to say, "Oh yeah, sure, I can help you with that," and just on the tier of support and work that I do. So. Okay.
Yeah, just to make sure that people understand it, is that when you're on Joomla 3, you have to be under Joomla 3.10 to be able to migrate to Joomla 4. Otherwise, you're going to run into problems. So make sure you update your Joomla 3 sites to Joomla 3.10 to make sure that everything goes smoothly, more smoother after that.
Okay. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, you can't go from the 3 to if you're not in the latest 3. Olivier in chat, how do I pronounce? Is it surreal? He says, "Hello, J2Commerce, a wonderful initiative." Surreal? Is that French?
Cyril.
Cyril. Okay.
Cyril. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Y is I in French. Cyril.
Okay. I mean, I could have tried that because we're a Frenchish country here in Canada as well. So, but I figured, I'm just going to defer to the expert. Stefan says, "You hope to consider making a good solution for multilingual sites with J2Commerce. No dependency on third-party language solutions." So.
Yeah, Siri's just organized a Joomla Day France, so he just last weekend.
Oh, okay. So, and he's laughing. I think he's laughing at me, not at you.
That's because you speak Canadian and not French.
Yeah. Oh, no. I
English.
mean, in Canada, we all have to take French up to grade 10, at least when I was in school. So I know enough to be dangerous. I can read it. I can read it a little bit. Can't, and I speak it well enough to start a war. So, so they just had Joomla Day France. All right. So, okay, let's see. Adam has to leave. You still have good time here. Adam, tell me about 3 of the craziest customizations you've done for clients that eventually you're going to share with the world.
Well, they were so crazy. I don't know if it would be applicable, but I think one of them really was integrating with Microsoft Dynamics GP as a system that actually updates the inventory pricing, weight, everything, both directions. And if somebody created an order in their system internally, it would actually create the order and push it into J2Store, and then also take the order from J2Store and push it in to that system. So that is a very active client and very happy because they were able to literally integrate their website with their internal system. I would say for the subscription side, which for those of you that are running subscriptions in J2Store, we already have updated the subscriptions plugin for Joomla 4.5. So you can reach out to us to get that. But there was a subscription managed plugin that we built that went on top of that for those that have subscriptions on not magazines but physical products, similar to like Amazon, where you would go and you'd have your subscription for these products that are going to be shipped out every month and these that are every other month. And so it allows the user to drag products in and out of their upcoming subscription, and then it would sync all of the dates. So if somebody added the subscription yesterday and then they wanted to add on to it before it turns into an order next week, then instead of it triggering 2 separate days, it would actually merge them into one date altogether. So that way the company wouldn't be shipping one order out yesterday and another one out today to the same customer. It would combine them into one. So I look forward to eventually having something like that released to go alongside the subscriptions plugin for those that sell physical products on subscription. Yeah, there's just been so many different ones and a lot of stuff with custom fields, Joomla custom fields, integrating with it. That's the beauty of the core of J2Store, is that it's based off of articles. So to be able to create another tab for custom fields that are specifically for different use cases is so powerful, because we're already adding the power of custom fields from Joomla and being able to integrate that into a product page or anything for that matter.
And yeah, and then we already get a lot of feedback from people. I mean, people in Europe that they can't upgrade their site because they need some extension about the taxes. Some people in America, they can't update their site because the FedEx plugins was not updated, or things like that. So we want to make sure that we get all of those out of the way so that people can still stay on J2Store and migrate to Joomla 4, because this was a big hurdle.
Yeah, shipping is a big pain point in e-commerce.
Yeah, I mean, there really isn't anything that's not a pain point in e-commerce, because there's money involved. Everything affects, and it's really just a land of 1,000 cuts. That it's so many different factors that come into play when it comes to e-commerce that a lot of people don't even think about unless they are in that space for years and years and they've studied it and understand the psychology behind what gets somebody to click the add to cart button and what prevents them or gives them second thoughts about clicking that button. But for those of you that are currently on Joomla 4 and running a migrated version of J2Store, and you're worried if it works on Joomla 5, I probably have about 60 to 70 J2Store projects that are all running on on J2Store 4. So you don't have anything to worry about. If it works on Joomla 4, it's going to work on Joomla 5. And if you're running 5.2, you need to download and update to the latest version, which is 4.0.6, which you can find on our website. And that will fix the breaking issue with 5.2 and the articles in J2Store.
Okay. Valerie said she listened to Joomcast episode 6 this morning. That's when you were the guest. And so she asked, are you still a Joomla core purist? You mentioned exceptions, ACY mailing, J2Commerce, of course. And she said, I'm exhausted learning new ...
I don't blame you. And, I'm not a Joomla core fanatic in the sense of like everything has to be done. It's, to me, if it can be done in core, then it should be done in core if you have the capabilities of doing it. But there are certain things that it doesn't do. And so, this is where this extension would come in. Things like, for me, Akiba backup, AC mailing, those fill in, it fills a hole that the core Joomla doesn't fill. So in some sense, yes, I do still, build my own templates, and I still use core Joomla as much as I possibly can. And anybody that has worked with me on anything also knows how true that is. But I also am, and excuse the Canadian, but I'm not an idiot. I also know that there are certain things that core Joomla was not meant to do and thus can't do. And so that's where I then reach out to what are the tools that, really tie into core Joomla anyways, that are easy to use and intuitive. So if you're already used to working with J2Store, this isn't going to be anything different. It's going to be business as usual. And then every update that we do, we are going to also make aesthetic changes, UI, user experience changes, mainly right now to the back end, to bring it up in line to what the rest of the back end of Joomla 4 and 5 look like. So that way everything is much easier to navigate, and you don't have funky little fields that look different, and everything's going to look a lot easier and cleaner.
Great. I just posted a link in chat to your interview on Joomcast. And also, and there's a link, everybody, to one of the times that Olivier's been on the live stream. That's his introduction to his extension, latest news enhanced. So, Olivier, are your extensions going to work with J2Commerce?
Well, they are a little out of the range. Actually, the latest news could be working with J2Store since it uses articles. So it wouldn't be too hard to have something working with that. That was not my idea when I said yes to Adam. I didn't think of interacting with all of that, but eventually, yeah. Why not? Especially the latest news, I guess.
Good. Martin said he would help with he can help on the French. Vinny is bullying me about my language there in chat, but that's okay. Vinny's a friend, so he can do that. We'll take Vinny and I will talk about it the next time we go for a haircut together. And Valerie says, want to clear up Tim's misunderstanding. She's only inquiring. She doesn't have an e-commerce site, but she likes to be able to sell e-commerce sites. So yeah, and that's the other thing is why I'm excited about this is because for people that are making a living, helping people with their Joomla sites or have a business, for someone to say, hey, I've got a bakery, I would like to be able to sell online a little bit more, or like we had at the beginning of the pandemic when suddenly everyone realized their businesses should be online. And for you, it's an opportunity for us to make a living, and whether that's your full-time job or whether you're just trying to make a side hustle or you would like to get out of what you're doing. And in that way, a lot of people are standing on the shoulders of people like you, Adam and Olivier, and we appreciate that. So I appreciate that you guys do this. Now, Olivier, you don't have to leave, but Adam, you have 8 minutes till your next appointment. You asked me to make sure that you got off in time. So, but Adam, anything you want to say before you leave?
No, I mean, look, I think we're all, for anybody that's on here that is a current J2Store user, I'm in the same boat with you. It was, I believe in the project, I believed in it, and I continue to do so. And now I'm putting my money or lack thereof, since we aren't charging anybody anything, where my mouth is. But I feel like the end product that we're going to have by the time Joomla 6 comes around and this is rolled out, is going to be something that we all can be proud of, not just on the development side, but as the user side. And it's going to be something that we're hoping can really reinvigorate those that are we've lost in the community because they didn't have confidence in the existing selection of e-commerce extensions. And there's a lot of great extensions in Joomla that deal with e-commerce. So I have no misgivings that I know there's going to be others extensions, and if this helps those other extensions light a fire to become better, to stay, to keep up with us, then everybody wins in the end. There's enough business for everybody in this world that if we start thinking about, this or that, the scarcity mentality has never worked for most people. It's never worked for me. And I know Olivier, we both believe in the theory of abundance of let's just get this thing where it needs to be. And then we will figure out the rest. And usually whenever I've worked on anything and put the money second and the mission first, the money's always ended up being better than expected, and the end results always ended up being better than expected. Whenever it's been the other way around, it so far has never really worked out the way intended. But I couldn't have asked for a better partner to do this with. I'm excited to see what the future brings with us, and I. For those of you that stick along with us for this ride, I think you are all going to benefit from it. And I'm not going to let you down, because if I let you down, I'm letting me down, because I'm a user at the same time.
Field of dreams. You're going to build it. They'll come. Who knows who's going to appear out of the cornfield? That Field of Dreams is a movie, folks. Watch it.
Yeah.
No, just for anyone else. All right, Adam, don't jam the rest of your day. You leave. We're going to keep talking with Olivier here. Everybody, if you want to just like the video, if you haven't liked it yet, that would be great. Click the like button if you like Adam.
No, you want them to actually like the video. So, but anyways, I appreciate everybody that has been on for this last hour, that's listened to my ranting and ravings and the wisdom of Olivier and Tim. So I'm excited for what the future brings. Give us some feedback on this latest update. And if you have extensions that need to be updated, send them to us so we can get you guys squared away and rolling.
Okay, and I will get that video out soon. Edsa says he's got a J2 store he's afraid to update, so I definitely am happy to get that video done and made so that people can do that. So I can do it. All right.
All right, guys.
Adam out, and then Olivier and I will continue. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Bye. All right, Olivier. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Okay, so Olivier, what do you have to say at this point?
It's a little scary, but very exciting, though. I'm very excited to start working on this project. We already made some additions to the code a little bit, so that to tidy things up and make sure we create a new version as we go that tied to J2Commerce and not, it goes away progressively from J2Store and goes direct progressively to J2Commerce. So we have a lot of work to be done. Just for example, for the copyright, we have to change all the copyright files and all that stuff that goes into moving from an owner to another one. So we will do all that stuff. So for a little while, you will see updates pretty regularly. There won't be new features at the beginning. We just want to make sure that we have a version that works well with the latest Joomla. So that's going to be the big work that's going to be done. Adam was telling you he's also updating extensions. He has gone through a rather large list of extensions that he already has updated for Joomla 4. But we pretty much will work on a request basis. So people needing a feature that was in an extension that is not yet updated to Joomla 4, we will tackle those first before we go through the whole extensive list of extensions that exist. So feedback is the most important thing for us, is to see what's needed there. So we can prioritize things.
Yeah, I think too it's going to be nice for people to be able to start out with J2Store and have confidence. I haven't started any new things. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm getting working on sneeze here. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, because as Adam alluded to, we sort of had the you could sort of tell that things were not on the front burner for J2Store, and so if you're going to start a new project and think, oh my goodness, I'm still struggling with the migration here, then you're not likely to do that. But and I've talked a lot about migrations, but now you've got a version that works in Joomla 5. Is that with the backwards compatibility plugin on, or is it Joomla 5 native?
No, it's on for now.
Yeah, it's on for now, which great, and we looked at that with their Joomla user group for us. But anyways, it's going to work. It works in Joomla 5. People can start and build from there with you guys. So
yeah, we have tested in 5 too. Be aware that the underlying library FOF is used and is very stable until 4.1.
Okay.
Which means that if you have the error reporting set to maximum or something like that, you're going to see all the deprecated code that's going to show up. Yeah. So there's going to be some just warnings. So you have to don't be scared about it. It's just warnings. So, but you may fill out your page and you feel like, okay, there's something wrong here. You just need to turn the error off, and the extension will be working fine. We've been testing it in 5.2, so.
Okay.
So far,
yeah. All right. Yeah. So deprecated and warnings are just that. They're not errors. If you've got an error, your site goes white.
Yeah. So so far we haven't found any of those situations. So.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Hello, Serge just joined us here. Okay, so now, Olivier, we've talked a bit in the past, and probably in that link that I shared there when you were on the live stream after you showed your news extension for how do extension developers make a living, or are they making a living in the Joomla ecosystem? I think the last time I asked you, I asked if you had if you were doing full time, if your extensions are supporting you, and
not quite because I do have contracts like with certain sites. I do maintenance and I create sites also for people. But if I didn't have that, or also I migrate extensions to Joomla 4, and sometimes it's just a client that needs a specific extension that was created for them that need to be upgraded, so that these are paid jobs. If I only had the extensions, that would not be enough.
Okay.
To be honest.
And in chat right now and on my channel, I'm quite sure, and there's people that are using Joomla and trying to make money from that, trying to whether it's pizza money or a side hustle, or they want to do it full time. What advice do you have for people for starting out, or what if they want to start to make a little bit of money with whatever their skills are, whatever level that they're at, and we're all at different levels. What advice do you have for people?
I know it's difficult because I'm I don't know. I feel like I'm a special case. No, if you have some ideas like about an extension that you would like for people to pay for, it's first try something that's not already something that's been widely used by created by other extensions, because it's much harder. If you have to compete right from the start with extensions that already exist, It's harder to make people move from those extensions to yours. Um, but if you have like a free version of what you're offering, that's already helps a lot because people can try and test whatever you can get for free, and then if they like it, and most likely they will buy it. Um, but it's a difficult gambling because in the open source world, you most people expect to get everything for free. So to get into something paid, it has to be something that adds a lot of value to their site. Otherwise, they won't buy. They won't take the leap and go ahead and buy your extension.
Now that okay, so let's imagine a world where you don't have it, where Olivier does not have any coding skills, but you know how to build sites. So someone that knows how to build a site, where do they find their first client?
For the first client, I would say try and participate in the Joomla community because there are, for example, on Atomos, I don't know, this is not the go-to place to go, but it still is in a way where you can meet people that have the same skill as you, or join a Joomla user groups, like for example, Robin has a business centric user group that you can talk to people and see how they did it, what's their experience. If you have already some experience building sites and if you have some marketing skills like that, which could always help, it's pretty easy to find people. I mean, there's websites there you can find them. Um, Robin, I was talking about, she's been trying to find businesses in her community, and she found a lot of them. She has a lot of clients where who she can talk to and meet. Actually, it's a great. I mean, I was amazed how she can actually connect with people and go meet those people. Yeah, I know these days we are mostly online, but meeting people in person, it makes a big difference if you offer something like that.
Yeah, I mean you can visit local businesses, check out their webpage, and even and have a point of connection with them. If it's not if it's not accessible, if it's older, it's not working on a mobile phone, if their copyright still says 2002 at the bottom, you could go and present yourself to them and tell them what you do and offer to help them. Those are great. Those are great clients because they already have content. It's on their old site.
Yeah.
It maybe needs to be updated. It might be a pain. There, a web page is a pain point for a lot of businesses, and the reason they're old and not updated is because the person doesn't want to, is just so busy with other things or can't deal with it, or they built it themselves and now they don't have time to. So you're actually offering them a service by getting rid of the hassle and the frustration. And as Frank Kern says, to be a consultant, you just have to know something someone else doesn't know. So I really like to encourage people that are trying to do things and build up a business, or just get that side hustle money. That years ago, if I had listened to Adam and you talking, I would have thought, oh man, these guys are on a whole other level, which you are. I could never do that, and but I'm pretty happy with where I'm settled in the whole scale of what I can offer and what I can't offer. And so I think sometimes we feel we're tempted to have an imposter syndrome. We see what people are doing, and then we think, oh well, I don't belong in this. But through Joomla, you can find your spot. And sure enough, as you grow, as you learn, as you build, you're going to learn new things, have new challenges, and over time you're gonna be doing stuff that you didn't know how to do a couple of years ago. So I just want to really encourage people to just keep going, give her a try, just to help out, find something that you can see.
Yeah, and go to Joomla days or Joomla jugs or Joomla camps.
Yep.
You meet people and you see what everybody else is doing, and you create a network that you didn't have before, and that can help you. People are mostly willing to help when you ask something. So um, I expanded. I mean, when I started being a release manager, I didn't know that many people. I had a few people here and there, but as soon as I got into the the business of being in there and being a release manager, I started expanding and meeting all these developers that I never thought I would be able to talk to before.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and so then you expand your network, and okay, this guy is good in this, or Adam is good in J2Store. So people ask him questions because they know that he's been very familiar with it and creating extensions. Um, so yeah, it's a matter of meeting people. And now COVID is over, and hopefully nothing like that will happen again. We can go out there again and meet people in those Joomla days or Joomla camps.
Yeah,
And
there's just a Joomla day in France. There's one in Germany.
yeah,
I just heard that.
Germany. That was Dach. That was a few weeks ago. There was one in Spain as well. There's one coming in Brazil. In
Okay.
Brazil, yeah. Joomla Day USA is coming in April. So you have all these choices, or all these possibility of meeting people. So take advantage of it.
Yeah, J Day USA 2025 is going to be Washington D.C. I just learned. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, had a
In
great
Washington,
time.
it's going to be very nice to be there, and it's going to be 3 days this time. So it's going to be an extra day.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
So it's going to be nice.
Serge is saying beaucoup de français ce soir. Lots of French
Yeah.
people tonight. And he also said you
Yeah.
could do the interview in French.
Yeah.
I couldn't, but hey, when I had Elisa Foltine on the stream on the channel a few weeks ago, maybe it was a month ago. Afterwards, she showed me a site for her clients, they had these training videos. She uploaded it to this site, and the site translated it from German into other languages. Used the simulated the voice of the person speaking, and changed the movement of the lips in the video to match the language. So that was it was a little bit glitchy because at one point the person turned sideways, and so the lips didn't quite catch in. But yeah, so that was crazy. So it's almost to the point where I could upload this somewhere and just get it changed to we could just do the interview in French, and they would change
Yeah.
my lips. So
Yeah, we're starting to be able to do crazy things.
yeah, and Serge thinks I speak French too. And Ivor says perhaps take it in Norwegian. Yeah, so everybody would want their languages. Well, normally, Olivier, I would ask what's the next extension that you're working on for your business, but I guess there won't be any new extensions for a while with all the work that you're doing.
Yeah, J2Store is pretty much going to be the big. It's going to be, especially at the beginning, it's going to be going to need some time to work on. So, but I work on my own other ones that are still available.
Yeah.
So it's not that. jQuery Easy is one of those extensions that people don't download as much anymore, just because the technology in Joomla world has improved in terms of jQuery JavaScript side. So these are kind of the extensions that we're gonna phase out over time on my end. But definitely, I'm very excited about the other ones that are still working pretty hard, pretty good, like Latest News or Terminoscope Contacts. These are the two major ones that people use pretty widely. Um, and I do create extensions upgrade extensions for other people, and sometimes they tell me, okay, I paid for you for this upgrade, but if you want, you can make it available on your site. And so I may have a
Nice.
few extensions here and there that I add to my list of extensions that I support, but the big one is going to be J2Store, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Serge says, thanks, Serge. That's a nice comment about me. Appreciate that. About making an effort to ensure that people poor English understand. I just try to make an effort so that people can understand. Mary says you also lead the guided tours group.
Oh yeah, guided tours. Actually, if we want to create a guided tour for J2Store, you're welcome to.
Hey, all right. So let me ask this question. I could have asked Mary this because I know Mary's on that team, and so she that was really exciting to see that the new things out in 5.2. How's it coming on being able to export and import tours from one site to another?
Yes, so that the one thing I've been working on with the team is to create a tool that allows things that I cannot put in the core. There are features that are very specific to creating tours, and so we can't really put it for everybody to use because it's like adding a functionality that almost nobody would be using. So we have created this extra tool called the toolkit that you can download online at the Joomla dash extensions, and that will be available in the Jet very soon. That adds functionality for import, export, and even export for developers for their extensions, and also ultimately very soon you'll be able to package your entire tour into something that people can download and install as an extension in their website.
Now Mary has just pasted the link there. Yeah, and Valerie is trying to post the link. First look at latest news and hats. I think. Does that? No. Let's see. I think I posted that video. Let me just look for it here.
You did earlier, yeah.
Yeah. So there it is. There's the link there, Valerie. But thanks for trying to post that. Olivier, Mary has Starlink, and since she's on the team, do you think that she could come on my channel and show that tool when it's ready?
Well, yeah, of course.
I know. I'm just peer pressuring Mary to coming on my channel and showing up on video.
And if she's scared, I can be with her if she wants.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be good. I mean, I'm sure she would be able to do it. The only challenge with Mary is that when it came time to actually do the live stream, she might her goats might cause her problems. Oh, Mary says she's got a video planned for in the future for this. Well, you can still do a video, Mary, but you can come on the channel. So, anyways, yeah, that's gonna be cool. All right. Well, that's all right. Let's take a hard right turn right here. Yeah. So, Olivier, let's talk very briefly about the billionaire fight in WordPress.
Yeah, I followed a little bit of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, someone said recently that it had settled down, or that things seem to have settled down, but I don't know.
I don't know. There was a lawsuit going on, so I think once you start to have a lawsuit, you cannot talk to the other party anymore. So.
Oh, so maybe things have settled down. Okay, that's true.
That's maybe because of that it's not much going on.
Yeah. So basically, what's happened is that Matt Mullenweg, I'm not saying his name properly. I guess did he start WordPress and then he made it open source? But he has a company called Automatic with 2 T's because he's Matt, and he does Joomla does WordPress hosting, and then there's another company called WP Engine, and their whole shtick is that they do hosting. of WordPress sites as well, and advertise that as well. Just as we would I could advertise, hey, I host Joomla sites, but they have quite but they're totally separate entities. And recently, Matt said to WP Engine, you're not going to be allowed to use latest versions of WordPress, updates of WordPress for your clients unless you start contributing money or pay for that. Which, since it's open source, you can't do that. So if Joomla were to say, Tim, you've got so many people watching, we want money from you towards the project because you're benefiting from it greatly. And in fact, so we know what your IPs are for your clients and your servers. And so you're cut off from Joomla updates, security updates, or anything until you pay, and you can't do that. And so then there's also some things that have been raised about trademarks and trying to trademark the term WP, just like, so in Joomla we have open source matters, which is to protect the trademark of Joomla so that people don't just start using, so I can't create a site and say, well, I can, but say Joomla hosting, and I am Joomla, then they would take legal action and protect that. So anyways, but the thing with WordPress is it's some very, very, very rich people who are fighting each other for even more money or whatever it is that rich people fight for. Allegedly, I should say allegedly, because whenever you talk about rich people, you don't want to get sued, right? But not that. But no.
A big chunk of the internet is created on WordPress, so it's not a minor thing,
No. Ivor says like Mambo to Joomla. Yeah, back when Mambo, there was a company that was flexing a bit about owning Mambo, but it also being, anyways, they were seen as an unwelcome influence or thing hanging over the project. So everybody said, let's just forget it and let's fork it. Let's take Mambo, we'll go with Joomla, and then we'll go our own, and we'll cast off this whole burden. So that's what happened there. Yeah, so I think it's very interesting because the point that you make is that so many people, so many sites are running on WordPress, and now I've seen it in the forums. I've seen just sort of little whispers of some people are like, one person said in a Facebook group that came to. I was already thinking about doing something different than WordPress, and then this happened. So now I'm really, I'm looking at Joomla because, listen, whether it's Joomla or WordPress or anything, most of the people do not want their lives upset by more details. There's people in every community that love the fight, and I mean we know who ours are. But most of the people, they don't want fight. They want their website to work so they can go outside, or so that they can pay for their groceries, or so that they can grow their business. So it'd be very interesting to see the impact that this has. And I mean, it's just like when parents fight, even though they say it's just like, oh, we don't want it to affect the kids. Guess what? It affects the kids, even if you do a good job of it not affecting the kids, right? So.
Definitely. Well, it's we have been having fights in Joomla as well. I mean, it's just the it's how it works. I mean, it's like in a marriage, it's never fluid all the way. He has to go through some phases. So
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah. Oh no, there's always
just too bad that you go through a lawsuit and get ugly like that. It's just too bad.
Yeah, and I hope that Joomla 5 is great. Joomla 5.2 is amazing. When we went in the live stream last week, was looking at the new things, just like, oh my goodness, like the new articles module and the options in that. Hey, do you know what I would love to be added to that Joomla articles module? I would love it if it would pick up the first picture in an article instead of just using it. I know that's not core, but yeah, If you, I don't, yeah. If it would display the first picture in the article, oh my goodness, that would be the cherry on top. But I tell you, there's a lot of cake and ice cream and whipped cream in that module already. But
yeah, it's supposed to be the Swiss Army knife of the Joomla modules. Yeah, so well, that's why sometimes people create extensions, because they see that there's missing functionality and they cannot go into the core, or not yet anyway, and that's why they create those. Like the custom fields was a specific extensions before. And it became part of the core because it was such a big and an important feature that needed to be in there. But
Valerie just said that found the link to the other time you were on my channel, May 31st, 2021.
I mean, you've done a couple of videos without me in it, talking about my stuff.
Yeah, no, this is an introduction to latest news and hants for Joomla. Yeah, you were on that as well, March 31st, 2021.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just pasted the link. Yeah, thanks, Valerie. Yeah, that's good. So this is like your third time on.
Yeah, and well, yeah. Sometimes I don't remember because I watch your videos, so sometimes I just remember how many times I saw you.
So Olivier, why are some developers so bad at promoting their stuff?
Because I'm one of those people. I mean, if I didn't have Sherelle Williams on my side, sometimes I would just be in my corner. We're not really good marketing guys or very people who know how to talk. Adam is one of those rare developer that has a chat, on top of it. But most of the time, people that are developers are not very good speakers.
Yeah, well, you're one of the more balanced ones too, though, right?
I guess I got better over time, but at the beginning I was not. I mean, it was like pulling teeth, going to a jug and talk about my stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and that's sort of, I mean, that's sort of what we just have to do, like just make ourselves do it, and
yeah, and then you get into situations where you get more confident in your work, and just because people use it and people appreciate what you're doing, so it really helps the mood.
Yeah, I think that's the like anything, I think doing the videos over time I've just gotten more comfortable. I still get a little bit nervous before live streams and go, I hope this goes well, and then so many times after a live stream it's like, oh my goodness, I enjoyed that was good. So
I mean, you can tell when we watch your streams. I mean, the passion goes through, it's very enjoyable to watch.
So I think one of the last times that I preached filling in for our pastor at the church, I noticed that I was like super extra comfortable standing in front of everybody. I mean, I've preached, I've preached a lot when I was pastoring my church, but and I realized afterwards it's because I do so much talking in the room by myself when I do a live stream or making a video that I just kind of, not that I wasn't aware of the people that were there, I wasn't trying to connect with them, but it was just I guess that part of my brain is so strong now to be able to talk whether anyone's listening or not. Anyway,
well,
so
it's amazing because you're one of those people. When I met you 2 years ago almost in Joomla Day,
yeah,
when I saw you, I felt like I knew you. It was like, you just went through very easily. So it just,
good.
One of those people who connect well with others. So
thanks. And Stefan's got a nice comment about me there in chat. So anyways, I didn't want it to end up there, but anyways.
No, it's nice to say it.
All right. Well, if we're talking about me, we've clearly run out of important things to talk about. So, any last words?
No, keep your eyes open for guided tours, for J2Store. We also want to make sure that there is this migration tool that could help websites owners to go from WordPress to Joomla. So if you're interested in testing this kind of tool, just contact me or anybody in the Joomla world. On Mattermost mostly, it's easier. But you can send emails. It's no problem. And then you can give your feedback, and it's always appreciated.
Yeah, that tool to go from WordPress to Joomla. I had someone the other day contact me and say, "Hey, do you convert WordPress sites to Joomla?" And I said yes. Let me look at it. But to have that tool, that would be be great built in. But anyways, all right. Well, everybody, thank you. Lots of people in chat saying great session. Yeah, thank you, Olivier. Thanks to Adam earlier. And everybody for your support of the channel. Let me line up the button for the sad music here. And Olivier, if you want to stay on for just a bit, I won't be able to hear you while the music's going, but I think I'll have to mute the headphones here. But let's see. There we go. Everyone likes the sad music. Everyone, thanks for your support of this channel, for tuning in, and really appreciate you being here. Thanks, like I said, to Olivier and to Adam for their time today, and also for keeping J2Store going in J2Commerce. So with that, I will say, as usual, I hope that wherever this finds you, be it morning, evening, afternoon, or tomorrow, that you are well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.